Hello and welcome to Reviews. As always, I'm Plume Noir, and this is War of the Realms number 2. You know, I'm starting to notice something. This logo, it actually took me a moment, when I picked up this issue just to make sure it was the second issue. Because, you got all the runes around the logo, and then you have the number 2 kind of sticking out here. Got this nice Art Adam covers. I love Art Adam, so I like the cover. He does the poses. Um, just his detail work. I mean, this is typical Art Adams. It looks good. It's nicely detailed, but the logo is really busy. With all this going on, it blurs. It blends in with the color up here, and I think that is pretty much appropriate for this book. Um, I don't even know if I'm going to continue following this series. You know, um, they've been, in the Avengers, they've been setting this up a little bit, I guess. Um, a lot of the books, War of the Realms is coming in so many weeks, and I mean, it's just me. It just feels like there hasn't been. And maybe it's been in the Thor book, and I haven't been following Thor. Maybe, excuse me, it's been in a different book that's been leading up, but it just feels like this suddenly slammed in. And when I say there's a lot going on, have you ever heard the phrase, talks a lot but says little? That's how I feel this book is. The logo is busy. The art in this book is great. I love the art. This is chapter 2, The Midgard Massacre. Who is doing the art? Russell, is that Dowderman? Um, the art is good, but it gets to the point where it's almost overwhelming. I already used the underwhelmed joke in the last video. Yeah, I'll be honest, this series is not hooking me. And you think it is. There's a lot going on. Um, here we have Jane Foster, which I'm not sure when she came back. I know she died as Thor um, in the Thor run. There were a few issues where they went super ultra feminist with Thor, but as far as Jane Foster as Thor, I have no problems with her. I actually liked the design of her outfit, her Thor outfit. I thought it looked cool, and it was something different. Um, so I know some people really hate, they call her whore or whatever, but you know. I like the Jane Foster Thor. I have no problems with her. Um, and I think I heard a rumor that they're setting her up to be the new Valkyrie, and this issue definitely seems that's where they're going. They're bringing her back in, and she no longer has cancer, so she's going to jump in, showing that she's a badass. Hey, no problem. Um, and yeah, there's a few jokes through here where, like when Frank Castle runs into Wolverine. Wolverine, heard you were dead. Nah, just really drunk for a long time. How have things been with you, Frank? I'm reloaded. Right, good catching up. So yeah, the art's good. I like the art. Basically, the whole point of this story is, I always switch the L and the K in his name. Malekith, his forces are they've taken over the other realms. Now they've come to Midgard. They've saved the Earth realm for last, and now they're doing an all-out assault. We got the frost giants. We got the fire creatures coming through. Salters people, although now it's a different queen. So yeah, now it's partially evacuating, civilians, fighting them off. It's not going well. The gods against the humans. It's just not going well in the humans' favor. Um, and yeah, that's basically what a lot of this is. They're doing their best, and they're pretty outclassed. Um, yeah, we got the silly thing that the head of Roxxon, who is working with them, has taken down, pretty much taken down the internet, taken down social media. Um, and so, like anything, you take down communication. Um, and this is what I mean. The colors are good. I mean, you look at this, And you see, you got the purples over here, you got the fire, the enchantress over here with the green, and it looks good, but it gets to the point where it's just too much. Um, we hopped into this with the first issue. We're still going on with the second issue, and yeah. Oh God, here's they're doing that huge She-Hulk thing. I wish they'd make her a woman again. Is that too much to ask? It's a personal thing of mine. I'm just kind of going through this because basically it's, as they're fighting, there's some quipping, but they're not doing very well. Jane Foster has the whole thing about, hey, maybe you recognize me with Mjolnir in my hand, and yeah, we get the spread here when the cavalry arrives. When Odin comes flying in, um, which is a pretty badass scene. Of course, he survived his assassination attempt in the previous issue, and so he's flying in. God, that's a good book. To make the rescue, but of course, it doesn't go as well as he was hoping. Um, you know, Odin, he's supposed to be dead. You think a few measly elf blades could slay the almighty Odin? Yeah. So he ends up getting just slammed into the wall here. Right after he finds out that Loki has been killed by his father, Lothlorien. Yeah, here he comes in and just I owe you a death, Asgardian, and the king of the frost giants pays his debts. And yeah, so here we have Valkyrie and um, Jane. So you were the Thor who defeated the Mancog. Well, Mjolnir deserves a bit of credit, but yeah, I was the one slinging it. I suppose I thought you'd be a bit bigger, more blonde. Yeah. Um, yeah, they're setting this up to have Jane Foster be the new Valkyrie. Um, Doctor Strange is trying to evacuate people, but basically these witches are causing magical interference. And God, this is what I mean. Look how good some of this looks. It, it's it's good, but it's almost too much. You know what I'm saying? It's almost overstimulation. um, yeah, and he's trying to evacuate people. Not going very well. And yeah, I'm going to stop here because eventually he is able to evacuate, everyone, but it goes too far. He evacuates pretty much too much, and the witches get taken down, and so now they've all been teleported to Avengers Mountain, and it's pretty much exhausted Doctor Strange. Um, his spell was too powerful, couldn't control it. Rest, Stephen, you've saved many lives. A few too many, we just abandoned New York to the enemy. More like we got our asses kicked by an elf. We have to get there, the fight isn't finished. She explains, yes it is, but the war's just begun. So now we have, Odin's going to need to rest after his injuries. Oh God, she just keeps getting bigger. Look at that. That's not. What's that joke? That's not physically fit. It's physically fat. Anyway, the bad part of this, and there's one really bad part, and it's this panel right here. So there's insurmountable odds, right? They've retreated to Avengers Mountain. Um, they're gonna, start trying to do, strike forces. They're laying out the plans. And we get this exchange between the captains, Marvel and America. Carol says, I don't know anything about elves or other realms, but if this is a war, I'll fight it in the trenches, with every soldier I can find. You're right, Carol. Someone will have to coordinate the Earth's military response to this invasion, and I can think of no better captain for the job. I sincerely hope that means Captain America is going to be doing something more important. Because, really, this is Captain America. Okay? Coordinate the Earth's military response to this invasion. This is Captain America to a T. That's like what he is born to do. And so I only hope that this means that he's going to be doing something more important. Um, But yeah, I read that panel and I'm just like, stop pushing Carol Danvers like this. Okay, Cap, I know you weren't around for Civil War II. That was actually Hydra, Cap. She did not fare very well. I will not let Civil War II. Um, I will not forget that. That was a really bad showing for Carol, and she got out pretty scot free from her horrible, horrible decisions. And she should be far from a leadership position after all that. So yeah, we got more of this. She's just getting bigger in every panel, isn't she? So Jane Foster looks and she sees that the Valkyries are just getting slaughtered. And yeah, I'm gonna end it with that. Going through this really quickly because this is what I say. There's a lot of talking, but little is being said. It's actually almost overstimulating. And the thing is, these first two issues feel like they're Act Two. Like Act One was somewhere else, and maybe it was. Maybe it was in a book I didn't read. But we jumped right in, and this is still Act One, and I'm just like, okay, so I can't really be bothered to be too interested in it, to be honest. And then you look at the checklist. This is only Act One. Yeah, you see that? And look at all these tie-ins. We got the Thor, it's Guardians of the Galaxy, the various War of the Realms. I think that came out already. I want to say I picked that up. I could have sworn I did, because that's the one with Kate Bishop. And I was kind of curious about that. I swear I bought that. And anyway, here we have, already Act 2, Reclaim the Realms. And yeah, I'll probably pick up this one because it has She-Hulk in it. But I mean, look at all this. We have these basically limited series. Uncanny X-Men 1 and 3, War Scrolls, Punisher, and this is in addition to the other tie-ins. Act 1, we're still in Act 1, and we're already diving in. And you're telling me that this is spreading out, and as you saw in the first issue, it was just like ad after ad after ad after ad for all the tie-ins. I I don't care. I do not care. Yes, the dark elf is armies are attacking. They're swarming Earth. There's just so much going on that normally that should be a good thing. This issue looks great. It's fantastic, but I'm just kind of this was this was actually hard to read through. I just kept going, turn another page, turn another page, turn another page. Now, this issue does have some backup art in the back, like sketches and everything. Um, so yeah, when you see it's kind of thick. It's actually got some stuff in the back, not story wise. So, you know, um, as far as I'm gonna go 3 o'clock because, like I said, the art is good. Um, the story overall, I guess it's not bad. I guess it's not too bad. It is what it is. It's you know, Earth is being invaded, but it just feels like too much. It feels like a pacing issue, and where we're at now after 2 issues is can be summed up in 2 sentences. The Dark Elf has attacked, and most everyone has retreated to Avengers Mountain. Excuse me. That's where we're at. I mean, yeah, there's a few things. Loki's dead, apparently. I mean, come on, it's Loki. I mean, is he really dead? It looked like Odin was dead in the first issue, but obviously he's not. Um, Thor is believed dead. He's obviously not dead. Um, so, yeah, it really feels like, the lead into this, which was just the banners on the previous issues. Um, and like I said, maybe I missed it. I don't recall there being something in the first issue that said, read blah 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 for the rest of the story, for the lead up. That was kind of my problem with Secret Wars. Secret Wars, the newer one, the one that just came out a few years ago. That was part of a story that was being built up in Avengers for years, and so I didn't read that, but I felt when I read Secret Wars, I figured out enough to um, to figure out where we're going. You know, the incursions and everything. There was enough in the book that I'm like, okay, I missed that part. I understand what's going on. And I'm not getting that in this. I really am not. Not that there's a deep story, but it feels like the lead up to this, you know, the real Act 1 is somewhere else. And I'll be honest, I don't know where it is. And it's almost overwhelming, all this stuff. This would be a great second act or even, you know, beginning of a third act. And I gotta stop here. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. There is a surprise at the end. Like I said, there's pages in the back that are, you know, sketch pages. So I was trying to not turn too close to the back, but still kind of, whoops, sorry, never mind that. Um, yeah, anyway, this book is, if you're into Thor, if you've been following this, you know, go ahead. I suggest it. It's a beautiful book. The coloring is great. The art is great. It's just the writing, I'm like, eh, eh, okay, it is what it is. So, anyway, that's my take on it. I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm going to keep following the main series. I won't be picking up you know, pretty much any of the tie-in series except for the Strike Force with She-Hulk in it, and Curiosity. I think I did. You know, the Journey into Mystery. I think I'll pick that one up. Those are the only two that I'm interested in. I'm not going to pick up all these other issues. Well, okay, Avengers, I am already collecting that, but I'm not getting Squirrel Girl. I'm not getting these Guardians of the Galaxy. I haven't been reading Venom. I've heard some good things about that, but um, yeah. So yeah, take that as you will. It's not a bad issue, but I'm going to go 3 o'clock on it. I it's not enough to really hook me in. So anyway, I figured this would be an 8-minute video, to be honest, because I skimmed through this really quickly. Because if you read it, you'll see that it's kind of hard to push through. So anyway, as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.